It is like TV. Aloha! Welcome to day 2 of East Meets West. It is awesome to have you all back with us today. All right, so I am so excited to see everybody here. I forgot to mention the most important part about this event yesterday. I was so excited to kick us off that I forgot to mention how much money we have raised for the Food Bank of Hawaii. Over $10,000. Thank you, everyone who donated. You guys are rock stars, awesome. We had people donating all the way up to $500, even though the suggested donation was $50, which is super awesome. So all of the ticket sales go to benefit the Hawaii Food Bank in this time where we really, really need to support that organization. So thank you all for your generous donations. Now, how were we able to do this conference without keeping the ticket price? Because we had sponsors. So a huge, huge shout out to our sponsors who made this all possible. Yes, so our platinum sponsor this year was Altris. Altris was a supporter of ours last year. Many, many of our sponsors came back from year after year after year. We're so, so lucky to have this kind of entourage of sponsors that sticks with us, even in COVID times. Even when we're going virtual, they stuck with us. So at our platinum level, we had Altris. Gold level sponsors included Kamehameha Schools, American Savings Bank, Agora, our friend Tony Blank and his new gig with Agora, Elemental Accelerator, and JP Morgan. So thank you to all our gold level sponsors. Our silver level sponsors were Stafford Capital Partners and Wilson Sonsini. And our bronze level was Hawaiian Telecom and the East West Center and the Global Accelerator Network. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors. They make this whole event possible. All right, so on to the show. Our first panel for today is going to be led by Casey Lau, and I'm going to step off stage and let him introduce our panelists. Bye.
Thanks, Shanoa. Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 2. It's been exciting. Yesterday was a great day. I'm very excited that you're all here. I'm glad we did this event, even if it's virtual, so we can say hi to everybody. We decided to use Airmeet. So I decided to reach out to Airmeet and get somebody from there to be on a panel. This panel is going to be about the technologies that are connecting us right now and in the future, and kind of get an idea of, like, besides like Zoom and Slack and these kind of things, what are people using to connect with each other, with their teams, with loved ones, whatever, now and into the future. So I'm going to introduce my panel. Ashwani Jain is the head of growth for Airmeet. And, this is a huge company doing really exciting stuff here. We're in the platform now, so he doesn't need to do a demo of what he's doing, but he can turn on his camera. There he is. He's also in Vancouver too, which is crazy. So we're probably like next door, but we're on the camera close by. Hi, say hi, Ash. You are muted. Okay, great. We'll take that. We'll keep going. And also, Steph is out in Portland now, and he has a new startup called RendezView, and we'll be talking a little bit about what he's doing. Steph, say hi.
Hello. Nice to see you again, Casey.
Great to see you. And last but not least, we're going to bring on Sam Leung, the CEO of Otter.ai, which just today announced a new round of funding of $50 million. They are growing like crazy. They have investors from Spectrum, Horizon, Draper, GGV, all the big firms want to get on board. Sam, say hi.
Thank you, Casey. Really glad to be here and see everybody.
Okay, Sam, since you're up here, I want to do a quick demo. What we're going to do with our panel is we're going to use Otter to transcribe the conversation so that you can refer to it later. But Sam, maybe just explain quickly, what does Otter do and how does it work so fantastically? And congratulations again.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah. Again, founder CEO of Otter.ai, based in Los Altos, in the heart of the Silicon Valley here. Otter is a AI-based automatic meeting note product designed to improve collaboration and team communication. It works on a desktop in your web browser, or it works just on your iPhone. Right now, I'm actually running Otter live. I don't know if you can see this. It is actually
transcription. Yeah, amazing.
In real time. I also shared a URL in the chat window. So if you click on that URL, you should be able to see the live notes in your browser as well. So this is all based on our own AI technologies. This is now using Google or Amazon, Microsoft. It's actually has higher accuracy than those APIs. Otter is an independent product. You can use it on your laptop or on iPhone, Android. Use it with your Zoom meeting. Separately, Zoom is actually our partner as well. They license our system and provide the basic transcription in Zoom. It's actually all powered by Otter. So far, we have transcribed more than 100 million meetings. It's more than 3 billion minutes. So, it's a tremendous amount of data we're processing. So we're building more NLP algorithms on top of the transcription as well to analyze it, to automatically recognize certain keywords. Everything is searchable if you use it for your own team meeting. For ourselves, in the past 4 years, all our meetings are available. Just the last 3 months, we talked to a bunch of VCs. All the meetings are on Otter. The VCs are actually really love it because they can use the meeting notes and share it with their partners when they discuss this case. So yeah.
So it's a built-in plugin to work with Zoom, right? So if you have a normal Zoom meeting, it will just automatically transcribe a meeting that's being held there.
You do need to connect your Otter account with your Zoom account. It's a one-time setup. But once you set it up, every Zoom meeting can be automatically transcribed.
Very cool.
Not just for yourself, it's actually really useful for all the meeting participants. So if you have 10 people on the call, everybody can get access to it.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Let's bring Ash back onto the board here. Ash, we're in the middle of Airmeet. Maybe talk a little bit about, what is this Airmeet? What does the future for Airmeet look like right now? I mean, we're using it now. Everyone's in conferences. We're all enjoying it. Talk a little bit about, how do you grow the company at this time?
Sure, Gates. So basically, so Airmeet started just before COVID actually. And our hypothesis back then was these big events or some of these big conferences should be accessible to everybody on internet. And can we then democratize the access to these events? And the hypothesis still stays strong. I think what COVID did was it made this $1 billion offline events industry go online immediately. And of course, as we look into the future, as the vaccine rolls out, I think we'll see emergence of 3 different types of event categories eventually. One will be purely experiential events. These will be your company offsites. These will be your more experiential events, music concerts. All of these are best experienced physical. So these will probably never stay online. Maybe there'll be a small part of it which will just be broadcasting online, but not really an experience of interaction online. Second will be the events which will become more hybrid in nature. So think of TechCrunch Disrupt or think of East Meets West next year.
Oh, I lost the audio, Ash. Did you guys hear it?
No. Yeah, we can hear Casey, but not Ash.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to Ash more on that. I feel like I think it's a big market for Steph. Why don't you come up here? You were a Blue Startups alumni as well. Quick demo, like what you...
Sorry, just caught a little bit of that. But yeah, like you said, I'm Stefan Opsal. I'm co-founder of RendezView. We are an Blue Startups alumni from cohort 12. Originally started in Honolulu as well. RendezView is a new collaboration platform. We help teams meet and work together online. Essentially, the beauty of RendezView is that we create these collaborative workspaces where teams can bring files from their everyday life, things like spreadsheets and PDFs and Google Docs, into a collaborative multi-user environment. So they can video chat, review files, take notes, and organize all of their files kind of in one place.
Great. So right now in your startup journey.
Super early in our startup journey. So we just released kind of our big public beta. We did a product hunt launch about 5 weeks ago now. So we're super early on right now, and we're kind of working with these beta testers to figure out just what they need when it comes to this kind of sophisticated collaboration. It is publicly available right now. We are going to go back to a private beta possibly soon. But if you want to check it out, you can obviously go to our website and sign up totally free.
Drop the link in the live chat. I'm sure people just are too lazy to click it. I mean, too lazy to type it out. They can just click it, get in there.
Yeah, good idea.
Is there a delay on my voice? I'm scared there's a delay on my voice.
You're coming in and out for me. I don't know if it's the same for everybody else.
Similar. Yeah, same here.
I definitely have an internet connectivity problem here. To the whole city's upside down.
Yeah, similar here, Casey. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'll bring Ash. Ash, can continue on what we're for about the Airmeet.
Sure. Sorry. Yeah. Perfect. So as I was talking about, I think the events will split into 3 types of events. Probably one is experiential, which will definitely be physical, barely any virtual component to them. Second will be knowledge events, conferences like East Meets West or TechCrunch Disrupt. They will have a huge part of physical plus virtual with them. And then third will be digitally native conferences. Smaller companies, smaller startups, which could not afford to do a conference before, which could not afford to do a big brand building conference before. Because of the whole simplicity and ease of doing a virtual conference, I think we'll see a lot of virtually native conferences or virtually native events also coming into picture. So what we see is that this whole big 1 billion market of events industry, I think 20% of this will stay virtual, and then remaining 80%, there will be a virtual component to it, but not necessarily. So that's where we see Airmeet. Today, the kind of use cases that we have seen are super diverse. We never imagined, for example, universities taking up Airmeet for doing all the student onboarding activities. Student convocations are happening on Airmeet today. We have seen internal HR events happening on Airmeet, town halls happening on Airmeet today. We have seen very interesting, all VC Accelerate demo days are happening on Airmeet today. So interesting use cases are coming in. Of course, a lot of this will go back to physical, but we believe hybrid is the future in case of events. So some of this will remain online, and online interactions will become second nature eventually.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'm sure you saw the news, and everybody else probably saw the news the other day at TechCrunch, that one of your competitors is now going for a $5 to $6 billion valuation in about a year's worth of time. So this space is hot, and it's great that you guys are doing. I'm excited about Airmeet. That's why I'm glad we were recommended this, and I think that's a great platform. Any problems now that people are having with sound, it's our side, our internet side in here in Vancouver. I don't know what's going on today. I'm glad I'm still here. So I want to talk to Sam and ask you a little bit about what do you guys use Otter to do communications besides Zoom, besides Slack? What are some important tools that you use that maybe you can share with some of the other attendees here of how you guys run such a big company?
To be honest, actually, we use Otter ourselves a lot. We eat our own dog food. We use it every day. Actually, with remote work, this becomes even more important. With after the lockdown happened, people thought they would working from home would be easier than going to office, but it turned out that all that commute time became more meeting time. And with all the back-to-back Zoom meetings, people got super tired, with all the Zoom fatigue symptoms. And we found actually using Otter can mitigate that problem, with the live notes. People can actually don't have to pay attention all the time, which is actually human nature. You can multitask, you can do other things, but all the transcripts is available. If somebody call your name, you can scroll back and quickly scan the transcript. What did the people discuss? Separately, with the distributed workforce, people are different oftentimes in different time zones. Especially for international companies. We have people now working in India, for example. They may not attend the meeting live, but with the meeting notes, and they can get the information actually even faster. For myself, actually, when we were talking to VCs, there are just too many meetings. Some of the meetings I just skip. I say, hey, just to share the Otter notes with me. I don't have to be there for the whole hour. It's actually saved me quite some time.
Also, can Otter take all that transcription and knock it down into 10 points, 10 key notes, so I don't have to read the whole thing?
Oh yeah, it's actually if you look at the current notes, if you hear something interesting, you can highlight things. For example, you create a bookmark for yourself, or you ask your colleague to highlight things for you when they were in the meeting. Then when you got the meeting notes, you just look at the 10 highlights. Maybe that's all you need to know. Maybe 1 minute. Or because of the audio is still available, you can use the text to search. And if you're a head of marketing, maybe all you are concerned about is anything related to marketing. You just search for marketing and only listen to that part and ignore everything else. It just make
great.
everything simpler, right? You can listen to a meeting double speed while you're, just grocery shopping. Just make everything so much more flexible.
That's great. Okay, great. That's a ton of questions for you on the technology side. I'll ask you at the end, but I'm going to bring Ash back up. Ash, you're here in Vancouver. A lot of your team is over in India. How do you guys manage workflow using new connection technology platforms?
Oh, so yeah, I guess it's a great question. So I don't know if so everybody, I think before joining this session, all of us were in the social lounge. Now that's what we've done is we've created social lounge as a virtual cafeteria for everybody in the company. So we are about 200 people strong now, and there is parts of the team in APAC, in Europe, in US here. So what we've done is it's a 24/7 social lounge, and there are tables already. So we've created some of them as huddle rooms, some of them as discussion rooms, and then people can just bounce around, see who all are available in this virtual space, jump to a table, have this conversation. Some of those tables are like permanent tables. So there's an HR permanent table. So there's always somebody from HR who's available to talk to you. Similarly, there's somebody there from finance always available. So support teams are always available. So we've tried to create a virtual office space or a virtual space where people can just jump in, have those conversations. They don't need to be only available on the meetings. In fact, to that point, we are a completely remote company, even pre-COVID. So we've tried to keep the team together by just being in that one virtual space all the time whenever they want, and just hop in and see people around and meet with them. So that's something which has worked for us. Yeah.
I like right now, anybody here at the East Meets West, you can click on the question mark at the bottom right. It will then take you to a live Airmeet customer support where there are people there waiting to help you with your Airmeet issues. So I thought that's how I got to using Airmeet. Like, how do this? oh, if I email or have a text message, no one's going to answer me. But then if I clicked on that, there was somebody there. There's a whole bunch of people there, not just one person. There's a whole bunch of tables there to do customer support. So I was like, wow, this is the future of getting interaction, even for e-commerce websites and things like that. Is that something that you guys are working on, like integrating this into, like, say, a Shopify or something else, so you don't have to like bounce in and out of Airmeet itself?
True, Casey, absolutely. So this is what we call this as a 24/7 support lounge. So what we're trying to do is, wherever in the use cases where a live support makes sense, so in that, instead of you typing out an email or calling somebody, can there be just one person who's available there? You can jump and just discuss with them and get your query resolved immediately. So that's how it works. So we are trying to create this just as a module, independent module, where it's just one click and you are with a live tech support immediately available. So, yep. And just to add to what Sam was, so just something that we observed. So Sam, have you seen audio, the growth of audio as being a big tailwind for Otter as well? Like I was running a podcast company before this, and we were recommended Otter all the time. That's the best transcript solution which is available out there.
Yeah.
And now with Clubhouse coming in, with podcasts growing so big, that must be a big part of your business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The use case is very broad. We're focused on virtual meeting, but people are really creative. People use it during a Clubhouse. You can actually run Otter in the background during a Clubhouse event. You can record and transcribe. Of course, you want to make sure the organizer allows that. Events, even before COVID happened, TechCrunch Disrupt actually started using Otter at their official voice app since 2018. And then after COVID, they're doing their virtual events, they also use Otter. So yeah, I would love to actually explore collaboration with Airmeet as well.
Fantastic. No, we'd love to, Sam. Yep.
Yeah. Podcasters, yeah.
I love it. This is happening on stage here. So exciting. Keep you guys connected during this time, and also, because you're working remote.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're a totally distributed team. Right now, my co-founder is in Honolulu, I'm in Portland, and some of our other team members are in San Francisco and all over the place. So our day-to-day, we're using RendezView. I mean, I think it was Sam who said it, right? We're eating our own dog food, essentially. We use RendezView for most of that. But, some of the fun stuff that I keep hearing about, that I actually use myself, you guys touched on it, is audio. So I love Clubhouse. I've been recently playing around with Twitter Spaces. I think there's a lot of room in the audio area and a lot of room in that space for growth. We spent a lot of time and effort and long nights building crystal clear HD video chat encrypted in every one of our workspaces. And people are like, yeah, that's okay, but do you have just audio? It's like they don't even want that video anymore. They really crave that pure audio experience. It is a different dynamic than video. I think there's a lot of Zoom fatigue, staring at a camera all day. And so I think the most exciting thing for us right now is exploring how we can bring audio, both synchronous and asynchronous, kind of into RendezView. But we're using it all over the place right now. And I'm on Clubhouse, at least a couple nights a week listening to some really cool chats. Twitter Spaces, though, is coming for Clubhouse. That's basically an identical program, but it already has some nice benefits to it. So keep an eye on those two. I think they're going to be hot, and there's going to be a lot of growth in the audio space.
Okay, great. Well, that's leads to my next question then. Starting with Sam, like, what do you see innovation in the next 12 months in connection platform software? I mean, I don't think audio is innovation. It feels like we're going backwards, but it seems to be a preferred medium, and also with transcription.
New interest on audio. It's people have been talking thousands of years It's nothing new, but with the new technology, it's a lot more things to do. So so far we've got really high quality transcription, but this is not just the end of it. It's actually just the beginning. Transcription is actually digitize the audio, but then on top of it, we're building a lot more NLP technologies to analyze the conversation. And how much can we understand? Can we extract action items? Can we extract emotion, the sentiment? For our weekly meetings, we have our team weekly meeting on Monday morning. And at the beginning of the meeting, can Otter just automatically show the action items discussed last week? And this week when we discuss, then automatically check off the action items, right? So that kind of intelligence is what we have been focusing on.
I was just thinking you can also extract people who are not doing enough work or contributing enough to meetings as well.
It's actually, because we can recognize each person's voice, so it's already available. Actually, after a meeting, you can actually easily tell, who is really talkative. Maybe he speaks 70% of the time. The other guy never spoke. And for those people who never spoke, maybe they don't have to be in the live meeting, right? They can just use Otter Notes to right? So it's a lot of dynamics of who talked to who for how long. This is actually tremendous intelligence for the enterprise. If you look at the enterprise like Oracle, I don't know how many people, maybe 100,000 people. How many meetings happen in a year? If you can calculate the man-hours spent in meetings, that's a dramatic, a huge number in terms of the time and money investment. You want to know what's the ROI of that talking time. What did people discuss? What's the benefit out of those meetings?
I heard that Google has auditors sitting in on meetings just to see why there's so many meetings.
Right. So Otter will do all those for you automatically.
Fantastic. Ash, what about you? What do you guys, can you give us a little bit of an idea of a roadmap for Airmeet in the next 12 months? I'm sure and the questions, there's tons of questions oh, you're going to add this, you're going to add that. But obviously you have more of a long-term play. What are you seeing? Yeah. Is there a market that's going to be a bigger growth for you? Is there more technology you think you're going to add to this?
So Casey, three primary axes where we see how we see the space and ourselves evolving into. Number one is more collaborative. I think we've seen some of the major companies coming out and saying that they will be remote or remote first in the next few years. So we see that more and more collaborative spaces. So ability for people to come online together and do work together. I think that's where number one, that's where we're going to invest more into. Number two is we believe that there will be a ton of new generation, like YouTube enabled a new generation of creators. Similarly, as we make conferences or online events easier, there will be a lot of new generation event organizers which will start coming up. So I think just the ease of usage or making this tech go simpler and simpler so that anybody can start or host events. And Clubhouse is in that direction where it has just made it with one click, you can get a great room or great conversation going on. I think the third aspect that we are actively working on is making this experience more immersive. So if you have to host a conference of the size of TechCrunch Disrupt and give it a hybrid experience, how do you have all those 2,000 booths available here in a conference? How do you have those speaker showcases available here? So I think that tech will get more and more immersive. It will shake hands with how it ties with the physical world as well. Can a speaker who's physically present, can they interact with people who are virtually listening to that? I think those are some of the edges that I think we'll eventually innovate on over time. Yeah.
Steph, what are you guys seeing in the space? You're talking to investors, you're talking to stuff. How do you see the build out of your platform over the next 12 months?
Yeah, I think it's a really great question. A lot of people have strong opinions about what happens after COVID. Are we going to rush back into the office? Are we going to stay remote? Ash basically nailed it. There's already some of the largest companies in the world, from MasterCard through Facebook and all of those. that have already offered permanent remote solutions. So I think anybody who thinks they can predict the future is going to have a tough time. But we do know a few things. We know that there might be some hybrid, there will be some fully remote, and there will be some, strictly back to on-premise type things. We got kind of lucky. We were starting to build RendezView before COVID. So we're not really looking at COVID and then after. We had this view that kind of predates that and really saw that the world was already starting to go a little bit remote. 3 to 4% of the workforce pre-COVID was remote, and that was growing pretty highly every year. And so, in terms of our product, we're really building it in a way to support all these different types of collaboration. Ash also touched on it. Video is great for communication, but there's a huge need right now for like enhanced collaboration or sophisticated collaboration. Video is great. I can hold something up and show it to you. I could do a screen share, but that's just me driving the ship. And that's kind of what drives us to build a more collaborative system where you can actually, multiple users can play with multiple different file types in this collaborative environment. And it kind of gives more of that on-premise feeling in this kind of new digital world.
Great. Okay, I think that's already the time. I have there's a ton more questions and a ton more access here, but most of these questions in the question frame are all about Otter features. so Sam, maybe you go in there, and then when you go to a roundtable, you can just people can come and ask those questions to you directly because it seems like it's like and then also Ash, it's for you too. It's like when is Airmeet coming to the iPad and things like that. So that was a big question. Why doesn't it work on mobile? How did you choose the name Otter? When are you going to put thumbnail next to the person speaking in the transcription? So there's a lot of stuff in there, but it's great. It's a great conversation. I'm glad so many people or maybe have learned about a new product today. It looks very good in the chat. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much, Ash, Sam, and Steph. You guys, if you want to connect with these guys, just connect with them at the roundtable, which we're about to begin. So a round of applause. Yeah, put those little emojis to work there.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Casey.
Okay, here comes Shanoa.
Good
She's
job,
going to tell us what
guys.
happens next.
Awesome. All right. So thanks for that panel, a little glimpse into the future of technology, some pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited to just have the transcription decide who's actually doing work in my office. That sounds awesome. All right, so now it is time for roundtables. So if you were with us yesterday, you already know the drill. If you weren't with us yesterday, we are going to now go into what's called the social lounge in Airmeet. There are over 40 tables to choose from, so ranging from a variety of topics. Down at the bottom of the list are the pitch a VC tables. If you're here to pitch, go take a seat at one of those. Remember that tomorrow we will have 3 companies able to pitch the entire on stage, the whole session here. So pitch your heart out. Hopefully these VCs will recommend you to take the main stage tomorrow. So anything I'm forgetting about the roundtables, Casey, before we break?
Where is the Airtable with all the names again?
So it should be in your email. So very, very good. And we'll put it also in the chat, the Airtable for today. And you also got that in an email from Eventbrite, etc. The one that we sent out today is just for today. So if you're wondering, oh no, my favorite table disappeared, they are changing from day to day. So that could happen. They are also being renumbered. So if you were like, wait, I was going to 39, but you better check again because now it may be 33. But remember that all of the tables are identifiable by headshot, by title, or by the VC logo that you're looking for. So you should be able to find people regardless of some of those changes. Yeah.
And the main point is that you don't have to stay at the table. You can just listen. You don't like it, move to another table. If nobody's at your table, move to another table. I don't think Sam and Ash, you guys have, and Steph, you don't have tables. If you don't, just drop into an empty one and people will see you in there and just join you. So the whole idea is networking, sharing, saying hi to people. That's what this is for the next hour. And then there's another panel at the end, right?
So we're going to come back together and really exciting talk. We got Scott Mercer, who is the CEO and founder of Volta Industries, who, if you haven't been paying attention, this is big news for Blue Startups and for Hawaii. They just announced they're going public. They are now valued at over $1 billion, our first unicorn. So very exciting. We'll have the CEO and founder, Scott Mercer, here to talk story with me after we do our roundtable session. So please do come back for that. It's going to be exciting. They're going public via a SPAC. So we'll be talking about SPACs and what the hell is that? And why do you use a SPAC? So come back for that. We'll also have with us for that talk, Greg Gouge from Ulupono Initiative, who is one of their early investors as well. So, all right, so two round tables, and then we'll come back here
panel.
After that.
This is how you do it.
Thank you, panel.
Shaka in Canada, Shaka's in America. Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay.